Okay, just a quick video update. This is how everything's growing out here. That's all African basil, and it's got ginger planted in it. That's out front. And of course the worst place ever is the experimental bed here. It's got all kinds of cucumber vines. Let's see, I don't think my asparagus made it. And I'll have to sort through there to see if it did. But the strawberries are coming out pretty well. They're starting to make a little bed in here. So I may just turn this whole front into a strawberry bed. Find something to grow above it. And Mexican sunflower is going to be coming up pretty good there. This is something important. I'm going to point out a few plants. This Mexican sunflower was one of them. I started with a plant about that big. That was just cuttings. It wasn't even rooted. And I used it all over my yard. You're going to see it all over my yard. Same with the African basil. Same with the October rose. That's an October rose hibiscus. You're going to see these everywhere. This all came from cuttings off of plants, whether I trimmed them, and here's the thing, it was off the same plant almost every time. I'll find a base plant that I get started off of a cutting, and then I'll just keep adding. Got some real pretty flowers in here. There is a plumera that I don't know if it's going to make it through the winter or not. This is a first-year garden, and we do get freezes. So there is a Barbados cherry. I put one in the shade. Got a moringa here from seed. Let's see, of course this African basil is everywhere. I just remulched this. This is the first time I put wood mulch in here. It was all leaf mulch before, to try and get it to winter a little bit better. There is a longin right there. And I don't think it'll winter, but hey, what do you know? Got sweet almond here. I've made cuttings off of this tree. Stuck them in a sand bucket, started them, and then planted them. Turk's cap hibiscus there. Hibiscus is really nice. This is, you'll see a variety of hibiscus around here. They just grow so well in the area, and they draw in a lot of beneficial insects. Let me see. That's porterweed. I've got a few of those growing in here. There's another one in the back there. I've had to cut those back over and over. Of course, we've got banana trees. Now the sun's going to wreak havoc with my eyes, and hopefully not the lens. This is, well, that's pretty dry up there right now. It's not as brilliant as it could be, but that's coral vine. And we've got more October rose, a papaya, banana trees, a fig in front, right there. We've got dragon fruit, and you probably can't see it. I'm going to get around the other side. I'll let you know what that is. We've got a variety of trees growing here. Moringa. We've got Mexican sunflower, firebush, jackfruit trees. My grapevine finally gave up for the season. Just a gnarly twisted thing there. Let's see. I'm growing some wisteria in a container here. I'm going to try and get wisteria trees out of them, if you will. Train them up as trees. I just took the base vine that was growing in the ground, fed them through a bucket, threw some soil in there, scratched the cambium layers, and let them root up, and then I'll cut them out separately. Got some more ginger growing here. I've got about 3 varieties of ginger growing around. Out there, we've got lemongrass, October rose, some wildflowers. And, of course, African basil. And let's see, got another fig here, some more jackfruit trees. I've heavily mulched these in. Let's see, cranberry hibiscus. I've also got a few of those around, all from the same plant. Starting them out. These are really good to eat too, though. I prefer the more red, younger leaves, but those are good. We've got another dragon fruit there. Of course, my bee stands. This cutting here is and it was a cutting right off of the larger one you saw. Is a sweet almond. We've got Turk's cap out there, hibiscus, that's edible. We've got, let's see, there's a white mulberry. Let's see how that works out. Try to move the camera kind of slow here, so don't tear your eyes up. This is another Barbados cherry. We've got a couple of guavas here, 2 guava trees. The strawberries growing real nice down here, so I've opted to mulch these in too. There's some green onions. Let's see, that's a dwarf rose that was bought for my wife, and I just went ahead and set it out here in the garden, and it took. So you never know what's going to grow until you put it out here. Let's see, got more ginger. Got a young avocado here that was started from a limb that was a sucker. Stuck it in the ground, put a bag over it for about a month and a half. It took. Let's see what happens with it. We've got golden coral here. Same genus, another variety. This is an orange variety here. It's not flowering yet. You can look at all those October rose. Those are nice. And you can look at Angus. There's Angus. He's our new Corgi. He's about 2 months old, right, Angus? Tell him. You're gonna eat some lemongrass, aren't you? You stop chewing the plants. Angus, what are you doing, buddy? What? Oh, I know. Here, let's get him a picture without the wire so they can... What are you doing, buddy? What? I know. Mr. Angus. It's my daughter's dog. Angus Diggers is what she named him. Yes, I know. See, there's a Barbados. You can see right down the fence line all the flowers. That hibiscus is really, really nice. Let's see if I can get a close-up of one of those flowers for you. Those are so deep. The color is just really, really deep on them. Camera doesn't do them justice. I started a couple of banana trees over there. There's one there. Some starts. It's an ice cream banana right there. Or at least the container said it. We'll find out if it stays. You know, this is a mystery tree. Don't know what it is. I donated a box of bees to a future permaculturist. It's kind of funny because they tell me it was a jackfruit tree that they had pulled out, but it's not. It's probably a mango, I'm assuming. We'll see if it's probably going to freeze. They had it in a bag for a year, in a burlap bag, and it was growing on top of the ground in that bag. So I just planted it a week ago, if that. Not even that, probably 4 days ago. You're probably the only view you're going to get of that is, there we go, that's in that cluster of plants is a Jaboticaba. Yeah. See if we find it in the spring. There's some sorrel, another edible hibiscus, makes a nice tea. There's pink pineapple, plum, a few hibiscus varieties, and some plumera. Oh, not plumera. You know, I forget what that's called. Senior moment. Apple tree. That's an Anna. There's a golden Dorset right there. You can see these are all jackfruit trees. All the way through here, these are all jackfruit trees from seed that took in these blocks. And there's a, that's hard to see. There's a little longin down there. Nope, correction, lychee. There's a little lychee down there. We'll see what happens with it. Okay, there's the back fence, just covered in flowers. That hibiscus right there was the original one, and it wasn't more than 1.5 feet tall when I got it back in the beginning of June. And all these others have been cut off and grown from it. Now remember, my yard got leveled with 100-mile-an-hour winds about a month ago from a hurricane here in Florida. So you probably saw what happened to the Green Dreams channel down there. Pete, he had to cut his greenhouse to keep it up. Good thing he did too. Okay, there's a mulberry. This is a, you know, I always lose it on this plant. It was a stick when I got it. I don't know if it'll winter or not. I think it's a pomegranate. Yeah, this is a pomegranate. I've called it a persimmon, I've called it everything, because I never knew what it was. It was one of those mystery plants. You had to let it grow until you knew what it was. There's a moringa from seed. You can see that was cut. Now a lot of these plants I trimmed down really hard before that hurricane so they didn't get busted all to pieces. This one has grown back since the hurricane. I want to say there's chest height right there. At least 3 feet in 3 different directions. Didn't seem to hurt it a bit. We've got more growing here. Got a little bit of Charlotte's Web there. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got a few spiders around here. Getting all of our mass gets dumped back here. There's a couple of jackfruit trees that were thrown back here as seed, just threw the husk back here with the seeds, and they just sprouted up in this wood pile. Another fig, and it's got figs on. Let's see if I can find one there for you. You can see it's still got some figs on it. We've eaten a few ripe ones off that. It's a first-year fig. I don't think it was 10 inches tall when I put it in the ground. Let's see. We've got, yes, I know. We've got what's called a honeyberry. We've got, like I said, more. These are called honeyberry. Get all these nice golden berries on it, but they get these beautiful white flowers too, and they get white, purple. Sorry, you got catch me eating more. This is the way I like to catch the leaves on these. You see how red they are? Those are really flavorful. There's more hibiscus. In the middle of all that is a mango planted from seed. I'm not even going to dig through it to show it to you. But it's planted in the middle of a block. I'm hoping it will give radiant heat and keep it from freezing. You can see the rest of the yard. Looking across there. Not bad for first year. If you want mass, this October rose here. This is really something. That's an amazing little flower. I don't know if I can zoom in any closer than that. It's just so, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's so deep and rich. And we've got a passion vine here that's growing. I put it in late season. It's not gonna. It's growing, but it's not. It's probably not gonna fruit. It's gonna get frost before it does. Before it ever fruits, and I don't know if it'll make it. There's a jacaranda. That tree was leveled in our hurricane, and I had to replant it right there. So it's only been back in the ground about a month. It's starting to grow again, but it took a beating so bad. We're on a hilltop here. My beehives. It's a little cold this morning, so they're not doing much. I want to say it can't be more than 60 degrees. But they are there. And they're busy. They're just not fooling around outside the box. We're going to look across there. That looks so nice. All that color. Angus! What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? What do you say? What do you say? You gonna talk? You gonna talk? I know. Anyhow, Angus has got a lot to say, but we've got some variegated cassava growing right there. That was from, again, just a cutting. It's been in the ground about 2 months. About half that size originally as a cutting. There are mangoes and jackfruit inside of that wall of Mexican sunflower that I have cut back and cut back and cut back to make it thicker and thicker and thicker. I'm hoping it'll cover it for the winter. Some bees I just recently brought in. I gave them some brood. They had been poisoned. Look at this. This is pretty. Got a nice passion flower there, red variety. It's pretty. It's the first one we've seen. That's another vine put in from cutting. Going down the road, saw it, cut a piece off, stuck it in the ground. It's growing around here. We've got canna lily, another Barbados cherry, and you can't even see it. I mean, it's covered in the Mexican sunflower, but that's the intent here. I don't know if this stuff is gonna make it in an area that freezes, so I'm growing stuff over it. At the end of the season, I'm letting these faster growing plants go over my fruit trees, and we'll see what happens. There's some bottle brush in there. Like I said, you can see across the yard there. That's a lot of color. And it looks so nice. Not bad for first year. I'm going to let this go now. I just wanted to show you that we did recover from the hurricane, and stuff is growing. That's what that's the pink you're supposed to be looking for on that coral vine. It is a pretty plant. It smells nice too. Puts out nectar for bees. It's part of the buckwheat family. But there we go. We're going to call it a day. You can tell we're getting winter. All the brown on those leaves. I've even got some broken branches I've got to wait until that the hurricane destroyed. I've got to wait until it goes dormant, and then I'm going to cut those out. Alright, there's your update. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.